How's it going, friends and wrestling fans? It's Captain Solomon here, and it's that time again where I review Raw, Smackdown, and you know what, this time a little bit of 205 Live, because it just happens that they got a new general manager, so I might as well cover it. Why not, guys, right? Haha, let's get... Sorry, my head was a little cold there. Now, we can get started. You'll also notice that I'm doing a little bit of editing. That's because this could be a long video, and in the future I hope to keep a similar edited down format, because 40-minute long video for 1 week of WWE entertainment, well, that ain't gonna pull in the viewers, now is it? Yeah, so Raw opens up with Stephanie McMahon coming down to the ring to remind us about the historic event, which was the Royal Rumble. We had our first ever Women's Royal Rumble match, which Asuka won, and tonight was going to be all about Asuka. But before I get too much into that, I do want to mention that Jonathan Coachman is now back on the announcer's table. He's come back to the WWE. Booker T is now going to be doing the analyst desk position at pay-per-views, which is probably for the best. A lot of the commentary for the shows have been waiting for Booker T to say the wrong thing so like one of the other announcers could jump on him. This will kind of change things, I think, in the long run, hopefully for the better. Anyway, Asuka comes down. She cuts a promo in Japanese because we can't have two people speak broken English, I guess. We can't remember that Asuka does speak English in every promo before now, I guess. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Anyway, she cuts a promo in Japanese. This leads to Stephanie reminding her, hey, like, you have to make your choice of who you're going to face, but you might want to wait because we're going to see the title, Alexa Bliss's championship, the Raw Women's Championship, defended in an Elimination Chamber match at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Really good. I'm glad the women are getting this proper chance. This whole thing, beyond that giant announcement, ends with Sasha Banks coming down to the ring, saying that she is personally ready for Asuka, and that she's going to break her streak tonight. Asuka totally accepts the challenge. We're going to see that match later in the night. But our first match of the night is Kane versus Braun Strowman in a last man standing match. Now, this is one of 3 matches that will be taking place on Raw this evening to decide who's going to get a spot in the Elimination Chamber. Braun comes down to the ring and just begins to toss a bunch of weapons into the ring. This is already going to be intense and hardcore. Except we go to commercial break. And once we come back to commercial break, the match has already started and things have already gone like to chaos. They end up like tearing through the crowd area, like off to the side, ending up towards the top of the arena, up towards the coachman and his new fresh seat, and the announce team up there. So as they get up there, they brawl a little bit more, into the barricades, everything like that, weapons and such. Kane getting like laid out, and he's laying right below the announce table, which the team has properly left. And Braun looks at Kane, looks at the announce table, looks at Kane, looks at the base that it sits on, and just goes, yeah, I think I could do that. Then he goes over and grabs the entire, stage piece that the table sits on, and just brawns it up, and lifts it, and flips it over onto Kane. That's the end of that. Kane's dead. I mean, rest in peace. I'm sorry about your mayor campaign that you were running, but it's over. You've got nothing left. You're dead. You're in the ground. I'm sorry. But so Braun tried to kill him, man. And we get a little thing on stage where, after a bunch of chaos, the crowd just eating it up and them trying to get Kane on a stretcher. Braun had left and comes back out, and Corey Graves is like, Braun, that's a human being. What have you just done? And he goes, I did my job. That's what I did. Kurt said last man standing. Well, you're right, Braun. You did it, man. You did it. So, then eventually it goes into the backstage. I think it was a commercial break there, but they get Kane backstage. They're taking him away medically on a stretcher. Kurt Angle runs into Braun and just starts yelling at him. He's just like, whoa, can you give me a break? Like, every week you're doing this. And Braun's like, you know what? You're right. You're right that I could have done more. And he just he flips out. He's just like, you told me last man standing, just like I'm going to be the last man standing in that Elimination Chamber, and just like I'll be the last man standing over Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Really good work, really good promo. It was definitely an awesome way to open the show. But again, another situation, kind of like the Raw 25. How do you really top that? Because I don't think you do. After that, we get match number 2 for the Elimination Chamber spots for the night. This one is Elias versus Matt Hardy. Now, the match itself was relatively basic. Wasn't anything too exciting. And I almost, for a minute, thought maybe the Bray Wyatt thing was done. Till right towards the very end, we get the little video, cut noise that happens when Bray Wyatt shows up. Matt Hardy's looking around, doesn't see him, is like looking up at the ramp or whatever. This gives Elias the chance to pick up the win. He does indeed, hit him with the drift away and pin him. Bray Wyatt then appears on the Titantron and just laughs. Matt Hardy also laughs. I'm so over just the laughing. Laughing isn't enough to carry a feud. Please do something different. Bring in the Hardy compound. Give me Senor Benjamin. Give me Brother Nero finally. Like, anything. Anything at all. Please make this worth it, because right now it is floundering. Next, we get a promo from The Miz, which is just classic Miz stuff. He says the same thing as he always does. I personally enjoy listening to him talk. Not everybody does. After that, though, we get the Intercontinental title rematch between him and Roman Reigns. Again, a very good match on TV. They bring out the best in each other when they're in the ring. It involves some chaos with the Miztourage, which causes Roman to get rolled up for the 3 count. It was clear to me from the get-go that Roman wasn't winning this Intercontinental title back. If you aren't aware by now, he will be headlining WrestleMania against Brock Lesnar. He's going to be in the Elimination Chamber. At least that's the most likely way that he'll get there. So expect it for him to have a qualifier match next week, would be my guess. Then after that, we get a tag team match between the Revival and Heath Slater and Rhino. The Revival pick up the win here after hitting the Shatter Machine on Rhino. Again, really good ring work. They like to cut off their opponents like classic wrestlers used to do. They even mentioned that in their promo that they're, how they're trying to see how they stand up to like the Graham brothers after, comments about how nobody would remember who they are. Because we all live with our ECW chants, we live in the past while they learn from it. Very good heel promo. These guys are great on the mic. I hope WWE does the right thing and pushes them up the ladder. After that, we get promos from Finn Balor and John Cena, both talking about their match for the main event tonight and how they need to be the one to move on to the Elimination Chamber. Finn Balor very specifically talking about how Cena eliminated him from the Rumble and everything like that. But Plenty fine promo. I had no problem with it. So then it's boss time as we get like a little brief promo in a gorilla position as before she goes to enter the ring with Sasha Banks. Nothing important to say here, just that it's like, she's going to beat Asuka's streak, break it. So we get our match, Sasha Banks versus Asuka, and this was a phenomenal TV match in my opinion. Very well done. This, again, one of those matches that, like, if you were to tell me a match similar to this was going to be put on TV on a pay-per-view, I'd watch it. I'd be down for it. Sasha proving that she's one of the best workers. Asuka just being Asuka. There was a brutal kick to the head where Sasha went to dive out of the ring, caught a kick right square in the dome, dropped like head first, did a header into the floor. It was brutal looking. Looked really brutal. Asuka eventually also took a spill out to the floor as well. Really good match. Asuka obviously picks up the win, but oh my goodness, was this match amazing. It proves yet again that even with Ronda Rousey, even with the whole idea that Ronda Rousey is a big name and she's coming to the WWE, the women we have right now in WWE are the reason we should be tuning in. I'm still excited for Ronda as well, don't get me wrong, don't burn me at the stake, but Sasha Banks, Asuka, even on Smackdown with Becky Lynch and Charlotte, like, we've got a lot of big name stars that can do work. They should be the focus, that's all I'm saying. And after that, we get a Tag Team Championship match as The Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro, go against Titus Worldwide, Titus O'Neil, and Apollo Crews. Dana Brooke out there, obviously, statistician for them out at ringside. Decent enough match. Some of the spots looked a little sluggish. I'm going to say it's just like the wear and tear from Royal Rumble type stuff. So, not everything was as fluid as you'd want it to be in one way or another for the spots. But in the end, The Bar retains, and it's nothing huge to really write home about. Then we get to what I would call the biggest disappointment of the night. Finn Balor versus John Cena for the last of 3 spots in the Elimination Chamber match to see who goes on to face Brock Lesnar. This had potential. This is something that I've wanted to see. I feel these two could put on a very good match. But I don't know if they were trying to maybe do a similar work to the way of the build-up to the Johnny Gargano versus Cien Almas match was at NXT TakeOver Philly, just literally on Saturday, because that's the way it started. It started very ground grappling wrestling based, the strength of Cena overpowering little Finn Balor, I guess. But it was just boring. It stayed slow. It never really picked up. Maybe part of it to me is the crowd. The crowd never got behind it. At one point they had a beach ball, you can tell, because everyone kept looking off the hard cam off that way, and somebody took it. So, that's when the asshole chant started. So, obviously, the fans were not into it. John Cena seemed actually upset. I do not think that was a work in any way. I think he was upset with the crowd, even at one point looking to the announce table going, I'm just trying to go to WrestleMania. And, crowd, the match ends with the Super AA to finish off Finn Balor. I at least had hoped maybe they used this as a story tool. Finn could have won here because Cena was so distracted by the fans. This could have led to something for Cena later if you really wanted to. I just thought Finn was getting a push. Now he's getting pushed back down. It's not fair. It's not right. You got to give Finn that chance because we want it. We do want it. I understand that Roman is going to end up in the chamber and Roman's going to win. If you're not aware of that, I'm sorry I spoiled your WrestleMania match for Raw ahead of time, but I promise you it's been talked about since last year. It is going to happen. Mark my words. So SmackDown starts with Shinsuke Nakamura coming down to the ring, to cut a promo talking about how everybody caught this knee, much like these hands, but instead everyone's catching his knee. But before I go into that, they made a huge... Somebody backstage thinks they're cooler than they are. And they started this weird thing where, they'll occasionally just swipe a word across the screen. And that's just a really dumb idea. And you should never do anything like that. It just distracts the viewer. So, anyway, Shinsuke comes down, and he talks about how, everybody, like I said, was catching a knee. And then at WrestleMania, AJ Styles will get a knee to the face. We then get Kevin and Sami coming out, to spoil the fun of the moment. They complained about how they were ripped off, they were cheated by the referee, which they were. They have every right to be upset. AJ then comes out and offers to team up with Shinsuke Nakamura to face Sami and Kevin in a tag match later that night. They don't respond at first, they walk away, there's a little bit of whispering between the two, and they go back up onto the ring apron, and they go, well, you really want to do this tonight? You really want to do it? Nope. And I enjoyed that. They get knocked off the apron, and that's that. After that, we're told that we're going to get a fatal 4-way to see who gets a shot at Bobby Roode and his United States title. But before that, it's cut back to Daniel Bryan back there talking to Kevin and Sami. They talk about how they felt they got ripped off, etc., etc. He says that AJ and Shinsuke and whatever, AJ can't make a match, but Daniel himself can. So he is going to make that tag match a match tonight. After that, he says, you guys did get ripped off, and I did see it, and you do deserve a rematch. So, I'm going to give you a shot at that rematch. Kevin Owens is going to face Sami Zayn, and the winner gets to face AJ Styles for the title. Really good idea, sparks the breaking up of a friendship. We'll see where that leads. I kind of like it. I kind of want Sami Zayn to get his shot. I know he's not going to beat AJ, but they've been putting on such good matches lately. Just let him have it. Let him have his own shot. So yeah, we get that fatal 4-way match. It's Kofi Kingston, Zack Ryder, Rusev, and Jinder Mahal. All going against each other to see who will face Bobby Roode. The match itself is pretty okay, although it got put off in the little ad window, which I can't stand, personally. But it's put off in the ad window. By the end of it, everybody gets their one spot to have their moment to shine. Rusev Day was going to go, Rusev was going to go for a stack accolade, a stackalade. Yeah, I believe that's the term I heard Corey Graves call it. I'm going with it. So, yeah, he was going to get him in the Stackalade, get everybody to tap, apparently. Jinder ruined the fun on that. I was a little nervous that Jinder was going to be the one to pick up the win, but we do get Rusev making Kofi by the end of it, make Kofi tap to the Accolade. Rusev gets the win. I'm looking forward to that match. Then we get a little bit of a Fashion Files type segment backstage. Nothing too big I'm going to talk about, just their usual kind of campy jokes. When Shelton and Chad Gable show up, and they flip the Fashion Files headquarters table. How rude of them. And, you know, apparently they're going to face Breezango later in the night. Then the Usos come out, and they cut a promo. And now there's more of these graphics now I'm noticing, okay? Like, I've been trying to ignore any of this stupid stuff. I was hoping they were just going to keep it to those little, like, mix-match challenge segments or whatever. But no, apparently somebody in WWE thinks this is a clever idea and is going to, you know... Again, if you just put words on a screen, then people will clearly like your content more. And I don't think that's true, WWE. You need to stop. So... They cut a whole promo talking about how they've beat every team. And they've got them locked down. Cue the bars, like the cell door. Whatever. Fine. So they talk about how they're better than everybody. They don't care who you are, what kind of team you are. They don't care if you're brothers yourselves. They are the best tag team in the WWE. This leads to the Bludgeon Brothers coming out. I was hoping for a little confrontation, but we don't get that. They just get in the ring. Commercial break. When we come back, there's a squash match as per usual. Nothing to report here. Let's just move on to the next segment. Then we just get some more backstage stuff. First off, we get a top 10 list announcement from Daniel Bryan talking about how the Smackdown roster is going to come up with like a top 10 list of the people who deserve shots, can't vote for themselves or what have you. I don't know where this is going. Whatever. We'll see where that leads in the future. After that, we get Shane McMahon talking on the phone. He then gets off the phone to talk to Ty Dillinger, who is upset about being attacked backstage, as he should. But before we can get much of a resolution there, Baron Corbin shows up, starts yelling. Ty Dillinger gets back at him by talking about his briefcase, which is whatever. But this leads to Shane going, hey, on SmackDown, we settle our business in the ring. Kurt Angle's the one that gets to say that. Come up with your own shtick. Okay, pal? You're already a McMahon. You've got enough going for you. This leads to a one-on-one match between Baron and Ty Dillinger later in the night. Meh, no one really cares. So then we get Charlotte coming into the ring, talking about how amazing the Rumble was, how she even would have rather been in the Rumble rather than be champion, just to see how well she would have done, because it's such a historic moment. She also brings up Ronda Rousey, but before too much comes from that, also talks about how everyone wants to know who she will face. Ruby Riott comes out, the Riott Squad as a whole. Ruby Riott does the talking. Very good promo, in my opinion. I like when she talks. Talks about how there's no one like her. We'll forget that Paige exists. There's no one like her. And that how, Charlotte Flair is just a carbon copy of every person that she's ever seen on the steps up in her life. That there's somebody with so much talent, but they just have such an ego. And she also claims that she's got the ego like her dad. Well, granted, in wrestling, it's probably not a bad thing, but it's a really good, shot. That's how you take a shot at somebody. And I enjoyed it. This leads to an attempt of a beatdown, which fails, and then comes back and is an actual beatdown, which then leads to Carmella rushing down. And I was so certain Carmella was going to cash in. I was excited. I was ready to see where this went. We get this close to it. She even gives the briefcase to the ref. The ref's starting to, take care of it. She goes to drop kick Charlotte. Charlotte moves. Ref gets kicked out of the ring. He's out. She can't cash without the ref, so she takes her briefcase and goes into the back. Fair enough. This close, though. Then we get a Shinsuke Nakamura promo in the backstage. It's AJ showing up, and he goes, hey, I don't know if you want to talk about any, sort of game plan or anything like that. And Shinsuke just goes, I'm going to beat you at WrestleMania. And AJ's like, no, what? We have a match tonight. And he's like, I'm going to beat you at WrestleMania. And AJ's like, are you kidding me right now? Are you messing with me? And he's like, I'm going to beat you at WrestleMania. And AJ's like, what is going on? And Shinsuke's like, tonight we're fine. Just listen to me. And AJ's like, listen to you? What? Really good. I like that. After that, we get Baron and Ty Dillinger. Pretty pedestrian match. Baron ends up winning with the end of days. I don't got much to say. Nobody really wanted it. Nobody cares. No one cares about Ty Dillinger right now. It's just the 10. That's it. That's all everyone cares about. So let's move on from that. From after that, we get a promo from Rusev and Aiden English and Bobby Roode. I really liked the little calendar thing that Bobby Roode did. They're hyping up their match for the United States Championship. Again, no problems, but nothing too exciting. After that, we get Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn sitting in the back talking to each other about, their match tonight. But they also plant those seeds of them breaking up because they're talking about how, like, they have to, it's a shame they got to go against each other, but at least one of them gets the opportunity, unless one of them fails, and then they kind of take jabs at each other, but they realize that they have a match, they're going to be in each other's corner, they're going to work together to take care of their business tonight, and they'll worry about the rest later. After that, American Beta, Shelton Benjamin, and Chad Gable takes on Breezango. They pick up a win in a pretty okay match, nothing exciting. The one thing I'll mention is that commentary was pretty much dead. And you ain't gonna keep a lot of viewers, interested. That's your job, is to color commentate the match. And you did nothing. Not a lot of talking at all. But that's okay. I mean, again, I guess maybe it's just the fact that nobody cared about this match either. Then we get to our main event with no entrances from anybody, at least on TV. We get Shinsuke and AJ going against Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. It's a good match. Kevin Owens eventually ends up out there by himself for a while as Sami Zayn leaves and goes up the ramp because Kevin Owens has just been yelling at Sami every twist and turn when Sami got knocked off the ring apron and blah, blah, blah. So Kevin's like, or Sami's like, all right, see how you do without your guardian angel. So Kevin's in there kind of 2-on-1, even though it's mostly just AJ. And he's going against them, and he almost gets pinned, but Sami comes running in and saves the day. So Sami's back down there. But then again, Kevin starts getting mad at Sami. They start doing this tag-in thing where they're tagging each other in. He's like, you got this, right? You got this just like the Rumble, huh, Sami? You got this, right? And, they're still doing this back-and-forth thing. It's really good. Eventually, Sami leaves again. Sami does finally leave for real this time, goes to the back. Kevin tries to run away to jump over the barricade and just call it quits. He gets rolled in the ring, ends up catching a knee to the face, as expected. And, that's it. The good guys win, and Kevin and Sami, lose. Sami does cut something backstage saying that, hey, our friendship isn't over. This is about opportunity, and Kevin Owens will understand. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case. I don't think so, but we'll see where that goes. That was the end of SmackDown as a whole. And then we get to the end of our evening, the Mixed Match Challenge first, which is, I'm starting to enjoy. First, I thought the idea was stupid. It was kind of a dumb thing that WWE was trying to do to gain more fans, but it's kind of grown on me. The matches feel very campy. They have like a house show feel, which is a really nice touch. We get Team Little Big of Alexa Bliss and Braun Strowman going against the Ginger Snaps of Becky Lynch and Sami Zayn. Again, the match very funny and campy and enjoyable. Team Little Big end up picking up the win. After that, Braun Strowman and Alexa Bliss having a great promo in the ring. Braun talking about how, we get along good professionally, but I would also say personally. I mean, she is kind of cute. To which Alexa Bliss responds, yeah, you know what? You're pretty cute too. I mean, you're like a big old Mack truck, but with a smiley face on the front. And Braun goes, thanks. And I just really enjoyed that. Also, after the crowd getting behind it, as well as Alexa Bliss going like, all I can say is, Braun, we're going to go all the way. And the crowd just give me the yes chance. It's crazy. Let's go all the way. And then she goes, all the way to the finals. And everyone just like, it was perfect. So well done. I genuinely enjoyed that. But then after that, we did have our not NXT. Sorry about that, guys. I'm not editing one more time. We get 205 Live. My apologies. NXT is going to be tonight now. Not bad. Seems like I might not be that much of a wrestling fan. 205 Live, we get our general manager announcement, which is Rockstar Spud. Okay, he's going by Drake Maverick, though. I like that name. So, he's the new general manager. I mean, I don't know what I expected. I just didn't think it was going to be Rockstar Spud, I guess. So, we do get Drake Maverick, who talks about, what he's going to do to change the division, and his ideas to figure out a Cruiserweight champion. We're going to have a 16-man tournament that will end at WrestleMania. Now, the last time I heard about a tournament ending at a pay-per-view, they finished it 2 weeks early. So hopefully they don't do that. Hopefully they give the Cruiserweights the chance here. We did get 2 matches in that tournament this night. One of them was Cedric Alexander versus Grand Metalik, and Cedric Alexander picked up the win. We also had TJP going against Tyler Bates. I mean, both matches were good. The Cruiserweights aren't bad, guys. It's just we're conditioned not to care. They don't give them enough light on the main roster, so there's only a small group of us that are going to watch these matches. But I'm part of that group, and I will still enjoy what I enjoy no matter what. TJP picks up the win against Tyler Bates. It is a dirty win, pulls the tights. Was a good match. I enjoyed it. But that's all I've got to say about that. So, that's everything. That's all of it. It's going to be a long video no matter what editing I did, but at least there's a lot less ums and rambling in the middle. So, if you liked what you watched, hit the like button. Share it with your friends. Share it with other wrestling communities so they can laugh at my stupid hat, as has become the joke with my personal wrestling community friends. Whatever, I don't care. I don't need no hat. I need my hat. Anyway, hit like, subscribe, comment below, share it, at me on Twitter at Solomon Suplex. That's a thing. It exists. Not lying. Look it up. I don't use it much. Go there. Anyway, guys, I've been Captain Solomon. You guys have been awesome, and thanks for watching.